Today on Be Something Wonderful, how to create money and love flowing to you nonstop. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Here we are in Cozumel, Mexico with another big video for you today. This comes from a conversation that I had just a few days ago, but then some comments on the channel that aligned with this conversation quite a bit. And both of them were regarding money and a specific person. More money in their life and more love, or in other words, love with a specific person. I wanna talk about this and more today. One of you said on the channel, I think there was a comment, that I was so astonished that when I just said that money was flowing into my life, it started flowing into my life. But for some reason, it's not working, or it doesn't work with love or my specific person. And I really want to talk about this. Remember, you create and manifest who and what you're conscious of being. Who you say you are, your identity. There's no other law. That's what the law of assumption, the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of correspondence, the law of cause and effect. All the laws are based on that one law of being. In other words, being that person already for whom and through whom that reality is real. So one of you, I think that this was a recent comment, do you think I can manifest a specific person, an SP, who might be in love with a third party? I never had a romantic relationship with this specific person. So remember, I can't answer that question for you. You create your own reality. I don't create that for you. I will see a version of you from who I'm being, but you create your entire world by who and what you declare yourself to be, who you imagine, assume, and affirm yourself to be. So the question's not whether can you manifest a specific person who might be in love with a third party that you never had a romantic relationship with, right? Because what are you going to create here? What's the reality that you're creating? You're creating a reality where you have an SP that might be in love with another person. You have that you never had a romantic relationship with. You're creating that version of events, that version of a horizontal linear experience. You can't change any one reality, any one potential, any one possibility. You don't change God. God is God. All that is all that is. You move to the alternative version of events, where your SP is not in love with a third party, where you always had a romantic relationship with this specific person. Do you see? That's what we're talking about. So the question is, where are you and who are you? The famous answer from Moses, when God calls out to Moses at the burning bush, Moses, Moses. Moses is checking out the bush, why it's not burning, right? He was so amazed with the conditions, the circumstances. And God calls out, Moses, Moses, here I am. And then Moses asks, well, what's your name? Who should I send me? To God. I am that I am. That's your answer. That's who you are. You're all of these possibilities. But you don't change any one linear horizontal experience. All of those potentials exist and will always exist. Existence is existence. Non-existence doesn't exist. All of them exist as possibilities. So the question is here, you as the Son of God, all possibilities, all realities, who are you? Are you that version of you who believes that this specific person might be in love with a third party? Who believes that they never had a romantic relationship with? Yes, in that reality, in that horizontal experience, that's true. You don't change that horizontal linear possibility or potential. It has its own fate, right? Every reality has its own destiny or fate, but you get to choose what your reality, what your fate is, what your identity is, who you are. So the question is, where are you and who are you? Here I am. You decide that here, because remember, the answer to those questions determines your entire life experience, past, present, and future. You see it. You create who you were, who you are, and who you will be, all in this one powerful moment of now. Do you see? There's no fixed past. There's no fixed future. There's no fixed present. It's all potential, and it's always changing. So it's up to you to move to that reality of your desire. So let's hit this like we never have before. This thing's blowing all over the place, guys. So was the other comment that one of you said. Such a powerful comment. When I say that money is just flowing, and actually it starts to flow from every direction. Yes, because your reality, you're all that is, and it must be. You're saying that I am that identity. I am here and now, in this moment, that identity where it's actually flowing to me from every direction. I can't even tell you how surprised I am. I did nothing for this because it's not about ever doing anything. Exactly, because it's about being, not doing. Right? It's about being. It doesn't matter. Remember, it doesn't matter where you are in the 3D world, in time and space. No matter how far it seems that you are from what you desire, when you declare you're here and now, you're there, you're here and now. I talked about the healing of the centurion's servant, where he says, just, I'm not worthy that you come into my home. Right? I'm not worthy, but just say the word and my servant will be healed. In other words, what does that represent? Your perception of reality, your seeing of reality. Just say the word and I'll be healed of my partial perception, my incomplete seeing that has me focused on not having a specific person or not having enough money. You see it? So the healing of in Matthew 8, the healing, this thing's going crazy. We're live here, guys. So in the healing of the centurion servant, is the healing of your imperfect seeing, your partial perception. Just say the word. That's why when this particular subscriber just said that money's flowing to me from every direction, well, that's what she created. She started seeing that, perceiving that, because it was already flowing to her from every direction. Love and money is always, that's who you are. You are abundance. You are love. You are all that is. You are fulfillment. It's always flowing to you. But when we think we're apart from it, when we think that we're somewhere else, that these appearances are strong, then we keep ourselves separate from it. Remember in the centurion's servant, in that story, that Jesus didn't go to his home. Jesus didn't have to be there. Your I am awareness, no matter where you are in the 3D world, no matter where you are in time and space, just say the word and you'll be healed of that imperfect seeing, that partial perception. It doesn't matter how long it's been. We tell that story that it's been so long, or how opposite or contrary the appearances seem. Here I am is all that is needed. Do you see this? This is powerful. Because remember, Jesus did that remote healing. In other words, he didn't visit the home. He didn't have to be there physically. It doesn't matter where you are physically. It doesn't matter what those appearances are. It doesn't matter how long it's taken, right? The whole idea of time and space. Just say the word. So let's continue this. If I can keep this from blowing all over the place today, guys. Yeah. Money and love, in all forms of well-being, is always flowing to you from every direction. That's what creation is finished means. That's what Neville got it meant. But you only perceive, you only receive and see who and what you are aware and conscious of being. Your identity, in other words. You only need to say the word. In the centurion servant, Lord, I'm not worthy for you to come under my roof, but just say the word and my servant will be healed. Woo! This thing's going. Just say the word. My partial perception and perfect seeing of reality will be healed. I will have that perfect seeing, that perception of, I'll see who and what I'm conscious of being. I'll see my ideal reality. How do you see it? You imagine it. That 2-second imaginal scene. You assume that you're that person. You affirm it. Right? It keeps your focus. Remember, you don't need any of that. It already exists. But it sharpens your perception. It sharpens your seeing. That's what all processes do. You don't need any of them. Lord, I'm not worthy for you to come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed. It doesn't matter where you are, where you seem to be in time and space. It's all now. It's all here. So Jesus didn't have to go to his home. We feel, and the whole, guys, the whole power in that, remember, is that we do feel unworthy when we look around at the 3D conditions, when we believe that we're hurting, when we believe that these physical circumstances are unchangeable and immovable, when we believe that we're programmed by our past, when we believe all that, we don't feel worthy. But you know now that you just need to say the word. And that transcends time and space. It transcends all of those circumstances. It gives you that perfect perception of your ideal reality, that perfect seeing. Here I am. That's powerful. So let's continue this. Woo! This thing's blowing, guys. Okay. Let me get this. Woo-hoo! Yeah. Okay. So, we continue here on the beach. What does it mean to just say the word and heal your partial perception and imperfect seeing? You're going to ask me that, and you have asked me that. It means to imagine, visualize, whatever you want to call it, create that scene. Or if you feel that you can't get a good picture, assume it. Affirm that you are already that which you desire to be. The appearances of time and space, that physically focused reality, makes you feel unworthy. Unworthy for what? Unworthy to see and perceive yourself as that whole and fulfilled and complete being, to receive all the money and love that's always flowing to you. All the specific processes and rituals that coaches and gurus and teachers and books talk about are just permission slips, as Bashar would say, based on your definitions and your beliefs of what you believe is possible. They give you permission to believe, right? They give you permission to suspend disbelief. So you believe in the process, you believe in the ritual, whatever that is, but you don't need any of it. That's why Jesus said in The Chosen, in that show, where when he healed the paralyzed man at the pool of Bethesda, you don't need this pool. It means nothing. It does nothing. You only need me. You don't need those rituals. But because you feel that physical reality feels so solid and real, right? It feels so immovable, the time and space, then yes, affirm, imagine, affirm it, say the word, right? And it's done. Right? But they don't remember, but they don't create or manifest anything. None of that does. It's all done. It's already complete. The only healing that that we're ever talking about is the healing of your partial perception, the healing of your incomplete seeing of all that you are. Whew. That's powerful. So let's continue this here, guys. If I can do it where we don't get blown away here. Woo, woo, woo. All right. Then you ask, why doesn't the same happen with my specific person? This is the one that manifested money flowing to them from every direction. And then they go on to say, what if my mind goes to 3D? Well, your mind doesn't go to 3D. Your mind doesn't go anywhere. It's the divine mind. Right? Yeah, the 3D reality is within you. So you keep putting 3D as something outside of you, as something that's something that you go to. It's not anything that you go to, because and then you go on to say, because as much as we know that imagination is the reality, who would want to just experience the love of their life in their imagination and not in 3D reality? So do you see how you're creating this? I'm only experiencing that person in my imagination. I want to experience him in 3D, but remember that there's no difference. That's why. That's why you're having the experience of lack. You're not experiencing them in your imagination. You're experiencing the lack of them in your imagination. You're not experiencing the love of your life in your imagination. Rather, you're experiencing the lack of love in your imagination because you believe it's different than 3D reality. It's the same. That's why your mind doesn't go to 3D. There's no out there. Imagination is 3D reality. There's no out there. You're imagining everything right now. Each of us I'm imagining this. It's all imagination. There's no separation. It's only your incomplete seeing and your partial perception that creates the experience of not being with the love of your life. Otherwise, whoa, guys. Otherwise, woo! Otherwise, you'd be seeing and perceiving and receiving everything that you want, including that love. Do you see that? This is big. You're not experiencing the love of your life in your imagination. You're experiencing the lack of it because you think it's only in your imagination. So when you're imagining that you're with your SP, you're really imagining that, yeah, I'm with them and I'm imagining in this image, but he's not there or she's not there in 3D. So you're imagining the lack of it. Do you see that? So, so remember, and remember what we talked about, right? In almost every video, right? More than almost 2,800 videos now on the channel. All of these have been debunked. Everything about what most talk about, manifesting and creating your own reality. All of them, as Bashar, as Bashar would say, are permission slips to suspend disbelief. They're permission slips to keep you focused on your desired reality. You don't need any of it, right? They're all permission slips. They're not the processes. And so all of these have been debunked. The idea that you have to live only in your imagination or what you imagine. It's not about only living in your imagination. It's saying that you're imagining everything right now and in every moment. You're a new identity, a new reality, a new version of events. You're imagining it all. So it's not that you have to only live in your imagination. You only live in your imagination because imagination is the only reality. You're always living there. Do you see this? The physical experience is a creation, is an experiencing of reality. It's all within you. Or you have to affirm, imagine, assume a certain way. Right? You see so many talking about that. You got to do this. You can't do that. That's all made up. It's true for the person that's saying it because that's their reality. Do you see it? Or you have to wait for 3D reality to catch up with you. It's not outside of you. There's nothing to catch up with you. It's you and you. Your reality. It's not about that. You're 3D reality. You're 4D. You're 5D. You're all the Ds. You're all of it. You have to fix your self-concept. You are the ultimate self-concept. All of those self-concepts, all of those identities, all of those versions of events, there's nothing wrong with any of it. We're not here to fix what we believe is a broken reality. It's not broken. It's just incomplete. It doesn't need to be fixed. It just needs to be perceived in the way that you would desire it. There's nothing broken here. All those broken pieces. This is what I talked about when I was in those ceremonies there in the Gaia retreat there in Ecuador, in Cuenca, Ecuador. That all of those perceived broken pieces fit all together. Each piece is important and critical to all that is. They all fit to create all that is or all that you are. That complete, perfect being that you are. Not one of them, not one of those incomplete perceptions or incomplete seeing or partial perceptions or what seems to be broken or tragic or horrific in 3D reality. Not one of them is broken. They're just incomplete seeing. They all fit to make up what we call existence or God or all that is. right? You have, and then the other thing, you have to control your thoughts. You have to control anything. Thoughts are thoughts. It's all one thought, the thought of God. And so all those thoughts that you're having are all parts or partial perceptions of that one thought of God, that one love, that one divine mind. You're just seeing that one moment in time, that one thought of God from infinite vantage points or perspectives or viewpoints, and you're calling it broken or something wrong with it. Just move to the vantage point or the perception that you now desire, right? Or you have to feel good all the time in a certain way. Remember what Jesus said to his disciples when he was going to send them out to do miracles and wonders. And one of the disciples or apostles said, well, I don't feel any different. And Jesus says, your I am awareness. I don't need you to feel anything to do great things. Feelings and thoughts are always changing. The 3D linear emotions, right? Those 3D feelings and emotions are always changing. They're always shifting. What does that tell you? It tells you that they're not real. They're not reality. What's real doesn't change. What's reality is changeless. So the one emotion, source energy, your core vibration, your core essence of who you really are never changes. Conditions are conditions, but I am. Feelings are feelings, but I am. Thoughts are thoughts, or I am. And that whole idea that you have to heal your past. Remember, you have infinite past lives. Which past life are you going to heal? You don't heal any of them. It's about seeing yourself the way you desire right now. That's how you heal everything. Seeing yourself in your ideal. That's what continuing forgiveness of sin means. Continually identifying with your ideal, continually identifying with the best version of you. There's only one thing you ever need to do. Just say the word. Just affirm, imagine, and assume that you're that person you already desire to be. Wherever you're at in time and space, no matter what you see and perceive without or out there, no matter what you're thinking and feeling, just say the word. Your incomplete perception and partial seeing will be whole and complete as you do so. And that's what it said in the centurion's servant, in the healing of the centurion's servant. And the servant was healed at that very moment. In Matthew 8:13, and the servant was healed at the very moment. In other words, your seeing is complete. Creation's finished. That's why that one subscriber has all that money flowing to you, but that love's there too. Just stop imagining lack, affirming lack, assuming lack. When you believe, you think, you're affirming love. You're affirming abundance, but it's actually the opposite as you create this separation between imagination, which is your only reality, awareness of being, in other words, or consciousness is the only reality, and the 3D experience. They're all the same. You're imagining and dreaming it all right now. That's powerful. That's how to create money and love flowing to you nonstop. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on our videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, and our TikTok at Be Something Wonderful. Creators, don't forget, this Sunday, July 28th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, USA, we're going to have our 7th live stream. I'm going to be coming to you live, answering your questions that you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. Keep your questions and comments coming. It will be our 16th live stream, our 7th of the year, exclusively on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. If you're a member, join us. If you're not a member, check out the link below in the comments. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.